I can empathize with the position you've been put in, is hearing some of these stories from people who've got their dad's gun or the collection of guns and they just want to keep them, and now they're being forced to choose what to keep, and then the market's tanked, so they're not going to get any monetary value that they need to buy a new gun. And some of the situations from the young men that I've heard from who've been excitedly went out and bought a push button firearm, and then it's only been banned and they're not getting compensation, so they can't afford to buy a new gun. So they're trying to help their dad on the farm and they've just lost their tool of the trade. So some of the emails it has, and someone commented saying, Anita said she hasn't stopped crying. It's just been, I don't think people understand. I know a lot of people don't understand our culture, our community, and firearms can be a bit scary thanks to what the media portray us and how the politicians treat us. But it really is such a tight knit, great community. One of my favorite things is to go out shooting with my dad. He taught me everything I know. Hunting, it's part of my culture. And just trying to explain to people, like, you might not understand it, you might not like it, but we're one of the safest recreations in the country. And we have to be. We have to be super safe. And we take it very seriously. So I'm worried about, especially in regional areas like Albany, where you are, how it will change the culture of our societies down there. And if we can't pass on the skills of hunting and using the right tools for the job to our children, it will completely change the landscape of WA. Is that something that, I know this is a bit philosophical, but is that something that you've thought about or pondered, or do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I just can't fathom what this looks like in a year's time if it goes through, or it is going through, but if it continues to go through as it's written, it's just like, yeah, I don't get it. It's there's a lot of clubs shutting down as well. They're under real scrutiny at the moment. We've got a lot of guys. They come in the shop every day. It's a real, the shops. It's not like I was saying to one of the girls that came in the other day. Um, I was giving her a bit of a wind up, and what other store do you go into where you walk in, you get given shit when you walk in because you know everyone that well, and you've built that relationship, and so is that shooting community. It's there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be left just their whole lives revolve around this. It's they're going to be left really bewildered. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's a real hard one. I cannot fathom how this looks in a year's time. It's yeah, and obviously we're racking our brains about that because we have to, like I was saying earlier, we need to be able to shift our business. Do we go back to the archery side of things? It's really hard. It's hard. I hope that we find those loopholes and the things that allow us to keep that community, keep the people out there that need this sport, that it's their outlet. It's their sense of community. It's so much more than what people who don't shoot realise. But it's any hobby, it's any group. It doesn't matter if you're part of a footy team or that you are part of a team. You're part of something that's not everyone does. It's hard. It's going to be hard, and you see it on people's faces. That's the hardest thing at the moment. Some people are accepting, but some people, boy, you can just see it draining from them while they're standing there. A lot of people are still coming in the shop not realising some of the rules, and you're the one having to break it to them. A few weeks ago, people were still coming in to buy ammo, and you're sort of telling them, "Did you know? Have you worked out what you're going to do with this gun? It's 2 weeks to go." And they're like, "Why?" And they still don't get it. Like, you have to get your mag reduced, or you got 6 on your license, and you got to get rid of one. And like you said, the market's tanked. The last week now, we've been sending them off over east. People are getting $50 to $100 for a $1,500 gun that's never been shot. It's madness, madness.